Welcome back, everybody. We are here on the most unfortunate map, the most unfortunate game, I always say. It is the loser's match, but hey, there's some good things that can happen because this is like the revival match. Whoever wins this game will be given a second chance to redeem themselves.
You shouldn't call this the Lazarus match. You should call this the Raj Al Ghul match.
Whoa.
So you gotta come out fighting. Anyways, nerdy references aside because it wasn't entirely accurate. Spawning here on the leftmost side of the map, it's gonna be our white boy of the group,
State.
And of course his opponent spawning in the top right-ish. A little bit cheesy, but he likes his chicken. That sounds like a delicious combo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's
Arthur. Now I'm getting a bit more hungry. Every time, man, we always end up talking about food somehow, some way, and it's always in the middle of a cast. Yep.
It's like a trope. So this matchup is really interesting to me because Protoss versus Protoss, I think, is genuinely and generally a little bit more cheesy than most other mirror matchups in the first place. A lot more proxies, a lot more all-ins, and of course units are so expensive it hurts to lose them. But whether it's a 3-gate or whether it's a proxy gate, I mean, there's a lot of different ways this can play out. And for me, the biggest question I'm asking right now is how cheesy is Arthur gonna get? No, scratch that. How cheesy is State gonna get? Because we already know Arthur's gonna be cheesy.
Maybe he will. State could pull something out here. He does have a probe on the other side of the map. Although it just went to the mineral line. I thought it was getting in a proxy position, but that second pylon is already out, and there goes, oh my god, a pylon here from Arthur, who is gearing up to do a 3-gate pressure, it looks like, off of 1 gas, chrono boosting out that warp gate, and State is on 2 warp gates, though, but he has delayed his mothership core. Oh, no. Maybe it is? I can't tell, but it's actually just about to pop.
Well, it doesn't matter about delayed or not, because other way it wouldn't have the photon overcharge in the first place. But this pylon on the high ground really annoying. Arthur gets another one snuck in here, but it's really curious to me for this to be the case, because he chronoed out that warp tech like crazy. So he's going to be able to warp in directly in State's base. State actually force fields out the Stalker, only to have 3 more warp in directly on top of him. He's not going to have this ready to go. Stalkers are out in force field again. Another sentry comes to these front lines, but I just don't think it's going to work. The warp tech is going to outproduce State. It's 3 gateways to 2, essentially. Yeah, and
he's doing work with these probes, though.
He really is.
Even though he's losing a lot of mining time?
Exactly, and that's the problem. He could barely afford to produce off 2 gateways in the first place, whereas Arthur is still happily producing 3 warpins at a time.
Oh, he locked his probes out.
Well, no, that's a man, but I don't know if that'll help. Zealots are going to shred everything here. They connect to the Stalker, they connect to the Sentry, they connect to the probes. That little bit of a probe lead State had, past tense, is becoming precisely that past tense. Stalker going to run around for a little bit while the Zealots get some swipes off. More Stalkers going to be warping in just a second's time, and this warp tech is paying off greatly. If the Stalkers start kiting, Arthur just says, yeah, screw it, let's go for the probes instead.
And he's going to get a bunch of probes now, taking that lead, 17 to 14. The mothership core got taken down so fast. Tried to add a bit of DPS, but it was focused down, and there's nothing to buy time for here except for...
If there was a photon overcharge, this could look incredibly different. He's chasing back the low Stalkers, and they are getting quite low. Zealots finally gotten taken out of, but... man, Arthur, he's barely squeaking in these reinforcement waves. I can't believe it, but State's holding really well.
Yeah, his control is really nice, actually. Saving those low-health Stalkers.
Getting those shields back up. Of course, they gotta be out of combat for 10 seconds for that to happen. But shots from Arthur being wasted on probes. Sounds silly to say that, wasted on probes, but he needs every little, every attack possible. More Zealots warping in because the Stalkers sadly can't take their shots, but he's not able to connect and really deal much, if any, damage. Trying to focus on the low Stalkers as well. This is hilarious to watch, but he is starting to snowball out of control. State down in probes. State in a situation where he's producing less units has somehow taken a lead.
Yeah, I don't know how he's done it. He is down a little bit, but the Stalker count is really what you have to pay attention to. Oh my god,
how is that Stalker still not dead?
This is sick control, man. Like
this really is.
I'm really impressed here, and I was gonna talk about that. Like what? No way.
It's not like watching Parting do Blink, but the precision necessary to hold on for that long and that well. Oh, well played out of State. Well played.
Really well done.
Proxy Gateway for now coming down. So, without further ado, in the bottom left corner of the map, we have the red Protoss player. His name is
State.
And his opponent, with none of his buildings other than his Nexus within his main, it's going to be Chicken
Arthur.
All right, so we see an Extractor come at home. State's going to see this right away. Not going to cancel this, though. What's really interesting is if Arthur puts a second pylon at home... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, if Arthur puts a second pylon at home, he can put the Cybercore at home, and this suddenly becomes not so dedicated. Something you can actually macro out of if it doesn't go well. Yeah. But this is dedicated. This is all in. This is Arthur saying, here I am in the loser's match. I either win this game and tie it up 1-1, or I lose everything right here and now.
Yep. And it will be double gateway production versus one here from State, who knows exactly what's coming. But when he did scout it, oh my god, he only scouted the one gate, so he may be still thinking that it is going to be that like one gate into core with the Stalker. But it is going to be a double gate here. And State is only going to match it with this one gateway production, and I'm a little bit nervous because this isn't the same kind of just make a bunch of zealots and then hope that they scout it at the wrong time. This is going to be straight up the double Stalker production versus only one single gateway out of a State. So we'll see if he's able to hold here. I feel like it is going to be a rough situation, but I don't know if he's actually realized what kind of pressure he could be under.
Well, the pylon on the high ground, not going to have warp tech behind it, but it will have high ground vision, which is pretty important. Already being up 2 zealots goes a long way, though. I mean, the Stalker's going to have the range, and that's great. And, you know, it's going to keep like a seesaw going back and forth. Who's got more, who's got better. But this time, hopefully, keeps Mothership Core alive. Some folks actually forego the Mothership Core entirely in order to get more Stalker production out, but I think the Mothership Core just brings a lot of extra utility to this. Again, it being an air unit can go a long way. He's already chased off the Zealots of his opponent, which means just Stalkers remain. His State is up 17 workers over 11. All these probes on the front line, they're his extra collateral, I guess. This is what he has available to him. Oh, well, like Force Fields, they hold one of the Stalkers in place. He's going to get it. Nice catch with the Zealot. Mothership Core's also got a little bit of
taken out, though. Yep, but a Stalker coming out, and that Stalker's really low. Has nowhere to go. Gets taken out once again, and with the added DPS of the Mothership Core and these probes, I think State is going to be all right, at least for now, and he's buying time.
He's not out of the woods just yet, though. He's not count this too early. Photon Overcharge is still not ready, but you're right. Like, defensively speaking, he should be okay, but until he's got Stalkers to snowball with, he can't really fully clean up Arthur's the problem. And this high ground vision from the pylon is playing a big role in the way this is going down. But this is looking better and better for State. A couple warp ins here, a couple of chronos there. I mean, he doesn't have warp tech going for him, so this is like old school on both sides.
Wow.
Nice time warp.
For the time warp, actually, yeah. He's just feeling like, you know what?
That was good.
Yeah. It's going to work out for him, man. He's ahead. Look at the supply, man.
I hope he doesn't overextend here, though. He's being baited quite far away.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's going to realize,
like,
it's 3 Stalkers to 1. The Zealots are kind of nice to have, of course, but as we see, they'll get kited, so the State kind of gives us the way. Meanwhile, going back at home, he's still in 20 probes. He was continuing to make probes while this went on, so State not only supply blocks Arthur by picking off that pylon, he takes a huge lead in workers, and this game is looking like it's going to be his.
Yeah, he led Arthur away, so maybe it was him that was baiting Arthur, and gets right on that production, and GG, State takes it. Well done.
All right, so Arthur will sadly be knocked down.